chocolate and caramel-filled cookies. Lindt chocolatier Thomas is here to show us how to make them to perfection. Oh, you have my attention.
Excellent. What a combination. Yes. Crisp little cookie, beautiful creamy caramel filling inside.
Love it.
So I'm going to start with just a very basic, very simple, straightforward shortbread.
Okay.
And we're going to cook that until like nice and golden brown and then fill it with a rich sort of caramel ganache sort of type. So
you're really selling this.
What a combination. Yeah. So unsalted butter.
Yep.
Always unsalted butter when you're doing baking. Add a little pinch of salt.
Yeah. And by doing that, you know, you've got control of how much salt you put into it.
Absolutely. It's important, I think, with desserts in general to actually have a bit of salt as well. In
saying that, if you're having a little bit of bread, some salted butter, well, that's delightful. Yes. That's a different story.
So we'll cream this. We don't need to go too light with this.
Yeah.
So, but just combine it until it gets a little bit pale in colour.
Yeah.
And then what I actually do is just add a little bit of egg white to it, and that's what sort of helps to bring that crispness. So this is half an egg white.
Half an egg white, okay.
So this is a good dough to even make like a double recipe with a full egg white and just keep it in the freezer, and whenever you need it, just take it out and roll it. I'm going to put a little bit of vanilla in here as well.
Okay.
Always good, like one of those classic combinations.
Vanilla bean paste, lovely.
Vanilla bean paste is like one of the great inventions, I think for bakers. And then plain flour to actually bring it all together. And this will be a relatively soft kind of dough, but then just put it in a bit of cling film, put it in the fridge to firm up.
Right.
So we got the flour in, and we just sort of bring this together.
Okay.
And just important with those sort of doughs, don't knead it. You don't want to activate the gluten in it. So just once it's together, we're good to go.
It looks like there's quite a lot of flour, but as you keep folding it through, it absorbs it all and turns into that lovely consistency.
That's all we need.
Now, you can't roll that straight away.
No, needs a bit of time in the fridge. And here we have one that's already been in the fridge.
Okay.
And that's ready to roll out. So if you have maybe a little bit of baking paper for me, it's easier to actually roll that in between some baking paper.
So 2 pieces of Glad Bake. One.
Perfect.
2. Particularly with butter, having a bit of Glad Bake really helps with it not sticking everywhere. That extra assurance we need.
That's it. So we just roll this out really nice and thin. Now, what I might get you to do in the meantime is sort of start working on the filling.
Oh, I'd love to, yeah.
So for the filling, all we need to do is warm up the caramel and let the heat of that caramel melt the chocolate, set it at room temperature, and it'd be perfect. Ideally overnight, and then you have that beautiful sort of texture. And all I'm doing is rolling out that cookie dough nice and thin. I cut it out into different shapes. I like to do like a circle and a little hole for the top layer and just a basic disc for the bottom. Then it goes into the oven, quite hot oven, 200 degrees Celsius, about 6 minutes. So you just want the edge to start to turn a little bit of golden brown.
Cookies have come out of the oven, they've cooled down.
Perfectly. Golden brown is sort of what you want, just a little tinge on the edge. And then we're ready to fill them. So with that beautiful filling that we made with the chocolate and the caramel, just a nice generous dollop.
Okay.
Now you could just finish the top as well with some icing sugar, but I'm going to drizzle tempered chocolate on it, just as a little bit of an extra indulgence and sort of bring an extra flavour of chocolate into it as well.
Ooh, that looks good. And
just like that.
It wouldn't be your style just to put icing sugar.
Not really, not really.
More chocolate.
That's it.
And do I just spread this to the side?
Just a little bit. Like we sort of want it nice and full and high as well, so that's okay. Just for a little bit of a colour contrast, some slivers of pistachio. So I think we're in a pretty good place. That just very gently, delicately.
Thomas, these just look so special, and that was just a simple cookie recipe.
Easy, huh?
And just taken just to the next level with that filling and the way that you decorate it with that tempered chocolate and a little pistachio. This is why I love when Thomas from Lindt comes in, because we get these delights. Shall I have a taste?
I think you should.
Yeah. Okay. That shortbread, it's short, so it's super crumbly, which is what you want, the perfect texture. And then you've got Not only amazing chocolate, but caramel too. Very good, as always.